Hello everybody, we're back in action. Okay, so we're talking by next level, we're talking properties, okay? What are we doing? We're trying to make money. We're trying to buy stuff that makes sense. That's it. We're trying to see, you buying property, you want to make sure, we always want to know what is my exit strategy. Not necessarily what I'm paying for is important, but how do I get out? I want to make sure there is a good exit strategy. Next level. Okay, very good. So now we're gonna go KISS. What does it mean KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. Listen, I'm not very smart, okay? I want to keep things very simple and not get complicated. Simple, stupid, okay? Very good. We're gonna go over here now. So we're looking for, the other day I drove around the neighborhood in Miami. 10 units, right? 10 units. 10 units, asking about 2.2 million. Cute, right? $2.2 million. Average rent, $1,300. Ladies and gentlemen, $1,300 a month rent, okay, does not justify, okay, $2.2 million. That should go for like 1.3 million. That's it. 2.2 should be 1.3 million. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. And you know what? It goes on and on, okay? Another one. 25 units, okay? 25 units. Miami. Okay, 4.5 million, okay? Average rent, again, $1,300. Joey, $1,300 times 25 is how much?
Times 25. Times 12? Mm-hmm. 390,000.
No, $1,300.
Yeah. 1,300
times 25.
That's 32,500 a month.
32. That's the price, $3.2 million. But I'm trying to tell you.
No, that's per month.
No, but 1,300.
Right.
130 per door times 2.
130
times 2 times 25.
130 times 25 is 3.25.
I know my number. Listen, I'm a math wizard, okay? What am I telling you, okay? You can make money with small unit. You just can't. 25 unit, 10 unit. There is no way. What happened here at this $4.5 million? That's not even my exit price. My exit price for this may be around 4 million, 3.8, 3.9. So 4.5. Whew, it's like. We're not here to lose money. We're here to make money, okay? So this is what we're talking about now. Now we're going to go back, okay, to KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, okay? We have a situation here. Joy, where do you put it? Okay. 300 unit, Jacksonville, okay? 95 a door, okay? 28.5 million, okay? What makes this just so special? Why do people see that we don't see, okay? I'm paying 300 unit, okay? Again, keep it simple, stupid, okay? 95 door, okay? Per door. My average rent, $1,050, okay? My pro forma rent, okay? It's gonna be about $1,300, okay? What does it mean to you guys? At 95 a door, okay, my average rent is $1,050. This is well in line with the 1% rule. I can pay up to $100,000 a door for this, in this case, even more, okay? But I'm paying 95 a door, which is well inside the 1% rule. I'm making money. Why? How am I making money? So I'm going up $250, okay? My rent upside is $250. $250 a month, okay? That means $250 times, Joy, $250 times, $1,300, okay? $1,300 a month, that's the new rent, okay? Times 300, times 12 is how much?
1,300 times 300 times 12.
4.4, wait.
4.68 million. 4.7.
8 million. What's after 5%? 4.4? 5% like
95% occupancy?
yeah, 5% like guys. Rule of thumb: always take 5% off of the income. Okay.
Right, so if you factored in 5% vacancy, that's 4.4 million.
There you go. Okay, we're gonna go over here now. Okay, that means here's my new performer number: $4.4 million. Okay, new NOI $2.6 million at a 6.5 cap rate.
Consistent.
We're gonna sell 2.6 divided by 6.5 is
2.6. Just get rid of that other thing on the. Was it 2.6 million?
2.6 my new NOI.
Over 6.5 cap,
right.
40 million. That's your new price.
40 million. I paid how much? 28.5.
You pay 28.5.
Okay. Let me explain. I know I went very fast. Forgive me. Okay. So I'm paying 28.5 for the property. Okay. 28.5. Okay. 28.5. I have $2 million in capex. Okay. And then I have $1 million in closing cost. And I need to explain what's going on here, okay? Closing cost. So, in order for me, you know, it's very cute. I'm going to go up by $250 average rent. It's not so fast, okay? I need to add value. I can't just say, you know what, hey, you know what, your rent is too low, 1,050, let's expire, I want $1,300. I have to add value. I have to have a good game plan. I have to have a good reason. I might raise rent. So I'm gonna have a $2 million capex. Okay, I'm gonna spend. Here's the thing, guys. Okay, to get a unit upgrade and renovated, new kitchen, new flooring, new cabinets, new lighting fixture. Okay, make it state of the art too, with a lock back, smart ACs that can control by the phone, okay? A third party is going to charge you about $22,000 to $25,000 a unit. That's a fact. We are able to do it under $10,000. So I'm going to go ahead and renovate, okay? If I have 300 units, I'm only going to renovate 100 units. 100 units. Renovate. Why? Why don't I want to renovate 300 units? If I have 300 units, I'm closing on the property, and I want to renovate. I want to get more rent. So if I renovate all 300 units because I want to sell it, get more money, I'm not getting credit. I need to leave some room. Meat in the bone. What does it mean? I need to be able to leave some upside for the next buyer. Remember, I always think about, no matter what, whenever you buy property, I'm a kind of guy, I'm a greedy guy, and listen, I don't want to call it greedy, but I'm a kind of guy, I want to see that I want to get the money back for myself, my investors, my partners, family and friends, because I cannot be stuck in the deal for the next 10 years. So always want to see what's my exit strategy. So I always work the pro forma backwards. I don't care about the asking price. I work in the pro forma and I get my exit price. Once I get my exit price, I have a comfortable number to get in and to make an offer on the property. So over here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to renovate 100 units. For us, because we do it in-house, we have our own GC company. Then it's going to be about $1 million. Plus, we took extra money for renovation. I need signage, I need frontage, I need landscaping, I need painting. $2 million is a good number. But you got to be very careful because if you do it yourself, you need. I suggest the best thing is when you do a big property, team up with somebody smarter, somebody that has the knowledge, somebody that owns a lot of properties and they have a whole team behind them in your area that they can go ahead and execute. Because what I'm looking here, 28.5 million become 40 million. Minus closing cost, minus capex. Joey, how much is the 40 minus 28.5?
That's 11.5.
Minus capex, minus closing. We have left about $8 million. 8 million? This is 2 years max. That's very simple. Keep it simple, stupid. In other words, you buy the property at 20.5, okay? It's very important to be within the 1% rule. So we talked about before about the 10 unit, 20 unit. They charge about maybe 0.5%, okay, of the rent, meaning overpriced by 40%, 50%, okay? Imagine I'm paying for this property, I'm not paying 20, I'm paying $45 million just because, or I'm paying $40 million because seller tells me, yeah, you're going to raise the rent, okay, by $300, okay? Therefore, the property is going to be worth $40 million. Hello? That's my problem, okay? I'm not paying you for the upside. That's my job. I'm not here to work for free. So you have to pay the lawyer price. Okay, unlike when you look at the 10 unit, 20 unit, they already charge you, they already calculate in the pro forma numbers, therefore, seller asking for big numbers when it comes to 10, 20 unit. Therefore, bigger property makes more sense, and you can see the profit and down payment over here, for example, at this property, the down payment was about 8 million, 8 to 10 million. To make back 8 million profit within plus 8 million within you 2 year max 16 months, 18 months, that's the goal. 24 months is the top. And why are we talking about that? Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Why are we talking about this? This is what I mean, next level. You have to think outside the box. Joy, you're not making money with 10 units, 20 units, 25 units. You come to me all the time with the deal, okay? I already know sellers asking twice, I would say at least 40 to 50% of market value what the property worth when it comes to 10 or 20 units. So people say, well, I can never buy property. No, you can't. Number one, you can save money. Number two, try to team up with a sponsor, okay, in your area that does 300 units. The money is in the big communities, not in the small communities. That's the bottom line. Already?
But let's say another question would be like, if you want to get a small deal and you know that the seller owned the deal for maybe 20 years, right? They didn't just buy it a couple years ago where their basis was higher.
Right.
Their basis was lower, let's say. What do you say to a deal maybe that is smaller in that regard?
Look, if you can find an owner that own a property 10 unit, 50 unit, 20 unit for many, many years, there is a better chance for you to get a property for less money because their basis is much lower. Unfortunately, all the small deals that we see around us, and I don't care where you are, New York, California, a lot of them, most of them, 80%, maybe 90% of those properties, they're like flipping, meaning different and holding 2 years, 3 years, okay? They want come in, come out. So their basis is not very low, and they're going to command those high prices. Unfortunately, Joey, when it comes to 10 unit, 20 unit, you're not going to be able to make money because seller is charging you for the upside. I cannot work for free, okay? We're going to go over here, right, Joey?
Right.
So let's say, take this out. Next page. Listen, when it comes to 300 units, okay? 300 units, okay? 300 units can go from 30 million, okay, to 50 million. This is a big matzo ball, okay? Most people cannot afford, cannot look at that. So what they have to do, they have to team up with somebody that in the community, okay, that does big deal like that, okay, and offer them the opportunity. But you gotta make sure, read the fine line to understand that you have the diligence time. Listen, don't trust anybody. Drive the property, go over there. Do your own research, do your own rent camp, okay? Because if I'm saying that the average rent here, right, for example, 1,050, and I'm telling you I can get to $1,300, right? You want to make sure that's the case. You want to be able to, that sponsor, to demonstrate, okay, where do you get $1,300? More often than that, you cannot go more than 1,050. So let's say my average rent is let's say I cannot get more than 1,050. Can I still pay, Joey, can I still pay for the property 95 a door?
Can you still pay for 95 a door?
That's my top rent, 1,050.
No, because
of course
you're
not.
capped out.
You're capped out, you're not making money. No good, okay? Maybe 75 a door.
Right.
Listen, I rather don't buy. Keep the money, okay? There's no rush, okay? Until an opportunity come. Because the last thing I want you guys is to get stuck with the property and not be able to get out. And obviously, we all know that real estate is not a liquid, okay? Real estate, unfortunately, is not liquid. It's something that you're going to be in it for a while, year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years. But if you buy it right, okay, if you do your homework, you buy it right, and you buy it in a way where you know you cannot lose, because human beings always need a shelter. As an example, office building, strip center. Heck, I know, but there's a plaza downstairs for me, okay? Walgreen went under. Excuse me, Bank of America went under, okay? 4 years already, 4. They can't find replacement. You understand, Joey? I don't have 4 years, okay, to look for a tenant. Multifamily, right away here, tenant.
And why is that?
Because human beings always need a place to live. And by the way, the best opportunity multifamily, C and B class. Because then you have A class too. That's another lesson. The A class command a very high rent, okay, which not too many people can afford. Not too many people. Most people over here, and then B, and then A. The C class property rent range anywhere between 900 to 1,600.
Yeah, let me just interrupt for a second.
And everybody can afford that.
I have a question. So A, B, and C properties. Can you dive in a little bit about like what is a C property?
So
what does it mean?
Sure.
A C and a B and an A.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's gonna be another lesson. But anyway, C property is an older product. Okay, 1960, 1950, 1940, depending where you are. Florida, most of them are usually 60 and 70. C product. It can never give you B and A. Never. It's too old. Does that mean it's bad? No, it's not bad. It's fine. But the rents are going to be low, and this is what most people can afford. You want to be able to reach into markets where most people need a place to live, not limited. So you're not limited to you're going to rent to. However, it's also going to be sometime you're going to find a lot of C communities, Mr. Joey, in a poor area of town. Okay, and that's okay because you know what? They need a place to live. So C property is the most favorable assets, if I may, among multifamily investors. Okay, when it comes to make money, value add, not necessarily cash flow. That's another conversation. We're going to talk about value add versus cash flow. Make a note over there. We're going to talk about that too. Okay, we have time.
Yeah, we got another 10 minutes.
10 more minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
until we take questions live.
Okay.
And guys, if you have your questions, hold tight for another 10 minutes.
10 more minutes, we're going live,
up for
question and answer. And then B product, okay, is, I would say it's 1,600 to 2,000. Then A product is maybe like 1,800 to, I don't know, 5,000. Yes? So the B product is a little bit newer product, and
obviously it depends where in the country you are.
Right. And it commands a higher rent than the C product.
But A product would be brand new property, just
so
built.
then A product is brand new property, brand new, and the rent is much higher. Very few people can afford A, and that's okay. B is very good too. Look, you can make money on all of them except one thing. Here we go. We're going to talk about value add, right? Versus cash flow. So value add is basically you go in, you don't necessarily have the cash flow. If the interest rate is low enough, or if you escrow enough money to pay the dividends or the cash flow for the property, you can. But the money come in when you sell the property. Perfect example, we talk about Jacksonville, 300 units, you pay 28.5, you get out at close to 40 million. And that talk about class A, class C and B, mostly C's. When it comes to cash flow you're going to be A. So A product, okay, A product, B. What is A? What is Class A? So Class A, we talk about brand new product, okay? Because it's so new, there's not much upside. There is what we call a lease burn-off. So lease burn-off is where the lease is finished, it's over after a year, and you can raise the rent. You can keep raising the rent, but there's a limit how much you're going to raise the rent because it's already on top. It's Class A. Class A, it's mainly for institutionals where they're very comfortable with the 4%, 4 to 6% return. Year in, year out. That's it. It's not bad, okay? But we are looking more for something, a little bit of cash flow and value add. We love the value add because at the end of the day, got a lot of money coming in. My past history I can share with you, okay? All our products are value add because I love the idea when I come to sell or refi, there is a few millions, okay, coming my way. This is a beautiful thing. So my favorite product is Class C, B and C, but we are going to get involved in product in Class A because I think having a cash flow, peace of mind, that's not bad. Not too much upside in the Class A, but you know money coming in. You understand your cash flow going to come in no matter what. Again, good management, of course. It's all, by the way, it's all about management because I know stories, horror stories, my own. I sell a product, okay, I'm cash flow beautifully, making money, okay. When we go into the market, usually we command the most for our rent in its class. The minute I sell the property, rent goes down. Why? Management. People, you can't when you trust third-party management for Class B, very bad. There's going to be a lot of unexpected cost to run the property. Unexpected capex, broken pipe, broken AC, okay? That third-party management, they don't care, it's not the property. So they're going to spend money like water. And we don't want that. We don't want that. You want to be able to manage your own property or have that sponsor, whoever you're with, okay, has your back and they're boots on the ground. Very important, boots on the ground. Okay, so we're going back to next level. So when we talk next level, we are talking about taking guys out from your shadow, taking guys out from what you're used to, you're comfortable with, okay? And instead of doing 10 unit, go up, okay? Not necessarily right away. Maybe you want to save your money, find somebody that in the area that does big units, and you can team up with them. And always make sure you have the ability to go visit the site. Make sure you get report every month, okay? What's going on? Where's the money going? What's the income? What's the expenses, okay? Try to make sure, just understand that you want to be able to get a institutional quality report every month, not just on paper. You want something nice, an Excel sheet, and make sure that the sponsor is, you pencil out and they know what they're doing, very important. Okay, we are ready to take a question?
Yeah, I mean, it's 12:25, we can go
That's
earlier.
okay.
Yeah,
We're going to go now, we're going to take a question and answers. Anybody wants to come in live, this is the time.
Yeah, this is your time to ask a question live. Any questions?
Any question, come in live, not by text, by video.
We're only taking video questions.
We don't charge for that.
And I guess in the meantime, until we wait for that, I have a question. Let's say someone has 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand saved up. What do you advise them on doing first? Do you advise them to save the money till they can go get their own big deal, or invest some of that money in a small deal to get started?
If you have 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and you want to buy a small deal, unless that small deal is super good, super good, don't do it. Save the money, get a little more money, and partner up with someone smarter. Not necessarily smarter, but somebody that has the experience, that they know how for at least 300 or 400 units. But because today is small, do it 10 units, okay, you're not going to make money, and most likely you're going to overpay. So we don't want that for you. Question, anybody wants to come in and ask a question?
Anybody want to ask a question live, please come in. Request to come in, we'll have you in here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking back at some of the comments just to see if there's any questions here. But we'd prefer if anybody wants to come in with their question.
It's better to show your face in the video. Don't worry, I don't buy it, okay? We just want to talk to you face to face and understand where you're coming from. And the question, if you have any few of the comments, you can read me, enjoy.
Sure. Yeah, I'll read you some comments right now. So here, theoretically, it's nice, but where do we get this property for right price, and where to get down payment, and where to get renovation money? If you renovate, you have to vacate property and no income.
No, you don't. No. So when you team up with a sponsor, somebody experienced, they know what to do when it comes to renovation, because you don't lose income while you're renovating units. You basically start with the vacant units first. And as the unit become vacant, you renovate the units, yes?
And then the follow-up question to that. Only mortgage payments and 1/3 of units are being renovated for months until find new tenants another months. So how do you pay the mortgage during that time?
Well, you have to have enough money. The business plan going to have enough money in the in escrow. There is what they call in real estate source and uses. So before you go into closing, even much before that, when you go into a contract in a property, you do due diligence, okay? You have to make sure, and that's the number one mistake that landlord do is pay for capex from cash flow. That's a no-no. You cannot do that because it's never going to be enough. You have to have enough money in escrow to do the renovation, and therefore you never touch the cash flow. And the mortgage can pay by itself from the operating, from the income.
Another question here. Hey guys, if you want to come in and ask the question live, please do so. Eyal's willing to speak to you face to face. I know he gets a lot of DMs, a lot of people asking him questions. Eyal, we need help with this. Eyal, we need help with that. This is your time to shine right now.
Non-stop. The DM doesn't stop, okay?
Yeah, we don't even have enough time to answer all the DMs. Please come in live. Eyal has another 30 minutes. Okay, he's here to answer any question you have. In the meantime, I'll go over some other questions here. What do you think about Section 8 investing?
This question comes in over and over, and there's nothing wrong with Section 8, but you have to limit it to 8 to 12% of the property, not more. But lenders don't like it. They're not necessarily key for it, so it's okay to have them. But by the way, do not, even though it's Section 8 and the government pay the rent, do not take tenant with criminal backgrounds. Not good. So do credit check. I'm not so concerned about the credit, but I want to make sure there's no evictions and there's no criminal backgrounds. Sometimes they have that. We don't want that. Arrest, okay, stuff like that. You don't want to bring bad apple to your property.
All right, we have a question here. Yeah, I think that's Kyle. What's going on, man? Kyle's watching. Kyle, his question
Kyle,
is...
how are you? Let me see him.
What is your take? Yeah, Kyle, if you want to come in, ask your question, man. What is your take on high-end spec building waterfront?
So listen, the problem with the high-end spec home underwater, it's very sensitive to the economy. When timing is great, yeah, for sure, absolutely. When the time is flat and there's not too much action, you just have to make sure it's not bad, but make sure you have enough money, okay, saved, okay, to carry the project, okay, maybe an extra year, sometimes an extra 2 years, because the market is not there. But as long as you have the numbers right and you're not overpaying for a property, we'll have waterfront properties, yes.
Next question. Eyal, what kind of capital do you raise for large deals? Do you use institutional capital or more mom and pop capital?
So we used institutional capital in the past, okay. We raised hundreds of millions in the past, okay. It's institutional, by the way, we paid every single one of them, okay. We have track record. They all got their money back. In the average return was in the 20s. But right now what we're doing, we're using our family and friends' money. We like to keep it in the family.
People that want to buy an $800,000 house, should they wait? When is a good time to buy?
Never a good time to buy, never a good time to sell. It's always has to do with the market condition and let me say it again. How much you paying for the price? In other words, if I'm in a bull market is going up, and I'm paying top dollar, that's not a good idea. You want to buy it on a dip. Always buy on a dip. Therefore, good market, bad market, if you buy it on a dip or you're not overpaying, if you were to compare it to the competition, you're okay. Well, competition, I mean the houses in the area. Anybody wants to come in live? Joey?
Anybody want to come in live? Yeah, I'm waiting for people to come in. One guy's trying to come in. I don't know if it's working. saying I'm unable to join. But if anybody else wants to come in, it's your time. It's 12:31.
Nobody coming in?
I'm trying to get some people to come in here.
We have a lot of fans, but too shy to come in. Guys, anything you need, free stuff about real estate, free information. We don't charge. We feel like we have to pay it forward, so there's no price for it.
Hey, I'll maybe go back to that example in the meantime until we have someone join. The Jacksonville deal, right? The 300
Yeah,
units?
we're going to go back to the Jacksonville deal, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you deleted it if it's still there.
Doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead.
So you have your average rent there, $1,000, right?
So we have 300 units, okay? Average rent 1,050, okay?
So my question is that why, for example, right? You have this whole plan coming in. You're going to raise it to 1,300, right? Why doesn't the seller do it?
Okay, very good question. Thank you very much. If my actual, okay, so my average rent 1,050. My comps in the area show me $1,300, right? So why doesn't the seller do it? Why doesn't it me? Because of my blue eyes? Let the seller do it. Number one, sometimes the basis is very low. They bought it cheap enough, so they don't have to go up too much. So they're very happy. They're making money. Number two, which is very common, the seller or the sponsor for that matter, they ran out of money. There's no more money. And again, they're using operating money to do renovation. When that happens, okay, you run out of money and you can't pay the bill, you can't even pay the mortgage. You cannot, very important, okay guys, very, very important, you cannot use operating money to renovate kitchen, to renovate bathroom. You need to have the business plan executed right from a get-go before closing and make sure you have enough money in escrow to do the renovation. You understand my answer, Joey?
Yeah.
They ran out of money, bottom line.
Mm-hmm. How about the times when you say you're not going to renovate all the units, right? You
No,
buy
so
it, you're going
they-
to renovate a third of them.
So we have 100%, right? 100% we have, okay? We're only going to do 1/3, okay, of the building. This is a secret, okay, that not very people know about it, very few people know about it. And again, I got my education from somebody much, much smarter than me, okay, a billionaire, okay? The reason behind that, okay, if I'm going to be, let me be a good boy, let me renovate all the units, I'm going to be a great guy, now I'm going to sell it to the next buyer. So, you know what, next buyer comes in, wait a minute. You're giving me, okay, a Class C property. Remember, it's not an A, it's not an A, right? Class C property. The buyer for Class C property is looking for value add, they're not looking for cash flow. There you go. Okay, you have to leave some meat in the bone, okay, for the next buyer, okay, to be able to get a rent, okay. So my question is, if I only do, Joey, if I only do 1/3 of the property, right, 1/3, and I want to get $1,300, what does it mean? I want to get $1,300 for 1/3 of the property? No, the answer is no. What happened is, okay, by the time I renovate 1/3 of the property, the $1,300, okay, I would say $1,250 is non-renovated unit and $1,350 renovated unit. What does it mean? I'm able to demonstrate, okay, 1/3 of the building is renovated, I'm not charging $1,300, I'm going above my pro forma. Usually that's what we do, okay? And then slightly below for non-renovated unit. But but at the end of the day, I average $1,300 for my pro forma. And then, therefore, I'm able to demonstrate to a next buyer, because I'm always, when you do a steep property, it's not what I like. What I like, not important. What's important is what the next buyer gonna want, okay? And I know already what the next buyer is looking for when it comes to steep property. They're looking for meat in a bone. I need to be able to demonstrate, I raise rent to the max, above my pro forma 1/3 of the property, and the non-renovated unit can do the same thing when you buy it for the non-renovated units. Therefore, you don't want to do the whole property. Anybody else come in?
Right. So basically, what you're saying is that you're proving the business model to the next seller, to the next buyer of your property, showing that you're able to raise the rents. Not even
Guys, the
not
business
only on the
model-
renovated units, but the non-renovated units.
I'll give you an example, okay? This is a perfect example, okay? Joey? July 4th, right?
Okay.
Joey, are you
Yeah.
listening?
Yes.
Oh, you're playing game. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
July 4th, the Macy's fireworks, right?
Right.
What do you think happened the next day?
They're preparing for next year.
There you go! Preparing for next year. What am I doing? My business model when I buy a 300 unit, okay? I'm preparing it for the next buyer. There you go. Or for my refi.
All right, next question here. Someone says, there's no opportunity in South Florida for people starting out. Am I wrong?
No, we like Central to North Florida. South Florida, it's a little bit played out already because everybody wants to be here. You gotta go Central North Florida. Heck, I'm going today, Central Florida. I'm driving out of property. I want to be here. I don't have a choice. I gotta go up. I gotta make money. I'm not gonna buy. I want to be in South Florida for the beach, for the weather. No, I gotta get out. I go where the money is.
Anybody want to ask a live question? Come on live stream right here. Hey, I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to come in live, ask a question, real estate related? Hey, I'll here to help.
Right. We're gonna go back to the yeah. South Florida, okay, Miami, okay, Miami. 10 units, okay? This is a classic example, okay? 10 units, 2.5 million. Why is it moving? Excuse me. Okay, 10 units, okay? 10 units, Miami. Okay, 2.5 million, okay? Average rent, 1,300. What's going on here? I'm overpaying by $1 million, okay? I'm in Miami. Who cares? I'm in Miami. You overpay, right? It's like me paying for Jacksonville $45 million.
So this guy followed up to that. It's not feasible for someone starting out to buy a property far away from their home.
Well, where do you live?
Let's see if he says.
No, you want to be 30 minutes, okay? 45 minutes. So yeah, 2 hours, okay, too, but not that much more. Yeah, listen, 3 hours is okay too. 3 hours, 3.5 hours, but you have to be able to, can be lazy. Get in the car and drive up there. Or drive to the property. That's what we call boots on the ground. Joey, anybody else?
Let's see, someone wrote here. Do you see the Florida real estate market crashing anytime soon?
It's already crashed. It's not. No, it's just not gonna. It's not gonna go up too much, but it's gonna level off and continue to go up eventually. It's not going down. Rent did go down a little bit last couple of years. It's not going any lower right now. In fact, I'm talking to brokers in the area, and buyers are coming back to the market. Did you know that, Joey? Buyers are coming back to the market. Yeah.
So that guy that you're talking to before, 10 units is not $2.5 million in Miami. That is crazy. Even for someone living in Miami, trying to from Central Florida is not feasible.
You know what? It's not. I've seen many 10 to 20 units in South Florida, okay, asking anywhere from 180 per door to 220 per door, okay? And the average rent is $1,200, $1,300, and the idea behind it, the seller is like, don't worry, you're gonna get to $1,800. Yeah, for free. I'm paying you. I'm gonna give you a price for 180 door, even though you're not getting the rent. Yeah, because you're gonna be there eventually. So I have to work for free. No good. So Miami, 10 to 20 unit. Okay, Miami. Yes. This should go anywhere from 110 a door to 130 a door. If you want to make money, so you can make money. The only way you're gonna make money, get bigger product, okay? North Florida, 200 and 300, okay? For this, my formula. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here for you to make money. I don't want to lose money. With my formula, we have a track record, okay? Thousands of units, okay? Have you made money? We're buying it. 1% rule. It's extremely important. Cap rate is important, not as important as 1% rule.
Someone has a question. Can you share tax advantages of real estate / cost segregation?
No, well, that's going to be another class. It's very deep. But, the real estate taxes, okay, it's a problem. The insurance is a bigger problem. At the end of the day, you gotta deal with that, okay? If you're able to save money here and there, that's okay too. Don't rely on it. Make sure you buy the property deep enough discount, okay, that you don't have to rely on getting discount or cost aggregation for taxes. But that's gonna be another lesson, Joy.
Do you think tariffs are good for real estate market?
No, now it's good. But you know what? We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have to do it. He has to do it. I hope he doesn't fed up because he's got one more year. Next year it's going to be the election, and right now we have a minority in the Senate because all the good talent he took to his administration. But tariff for new construction it's not going to be good, but not necessarily for C product.
Someone has here a question. Given the current yield curve inversion and its historical correlation with recessions, how are you stress testing multifamily assets for potential demand shocks, cap rate expansion, liquidity risks?
Buying it deep enough, buying it low enough. That's why I'm stressing. This is very, very important. If the rent is $1,100 a month, okay, you want to pay $110 a door or less. I'm seeing average rent of $1,200, okay, to $1,300, even bigger product, okay, in Florida, asking $170 to $180 a door. You're not going to be safe, based on what you're saying, okay? Too expensive. You want to have the 1% rule, okay, to keep you as safe as possible. Again, there's no guarantee. You want to guarantee, put the money in CD. This is all about past performance of 25 years. We just, it's a copycat, okay? Yeah. Doing the same thing over and over, Joey.
Right.
Anybody coming in?
People are shy today. Anybody want to come in live? Please show your face. Yeah, I would love to see you.
I used to be shy too,
Yeah. Any other questions? Please ask. Someone said here, we're thankful for your advice, but wish your info was tailored more for people who are starting out in the market as crazy as South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida is crazy. Listen, guys, I don't want to give you it's bad news. I want to give you good news, okay? But South Florida is going to be very difficult if you're looking to buy 10 unit or 5 unit.
Would you say go to another market?
Go to another market. Go a little bit north, Palm Beach. North of Palm Beach.
How far would you say someone should go? Like
about 2 hours.
Max 2.5 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah, I could go. Yeah. Listen, here's the thing, Joey. We are in South Florida. People want to be in South Florida. I get it. Okay. Enjoy the beaches. Enjoy the weather. You might have to drive a little bit, okay, to find good property.
Mm-hmm. Someone asking here, Eyal, where in Israel should I buy property?
We're not so familiar with the market because we don't really invest in Israel. But I got to tell you one thing. What I'm hearing, Jerusalem, heart of Tel Aviv, you can never lose. It's only going up. But I would not do it because of a tip. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up. Am I going to buy Bitcoin? So whether you're in Israel, whether you're in Europe, it doesn't matter where you are, okay? Just make sure you buy it. Make sure the camps, okay, you're buying it a little bit below the camp, okay? Do not pay above market. Do not pay above camp prices. Never.
With traditional financing sources tightening, have you explored non-traditional capital structures like debt funds, PACE financing, or convertible mezzanine debt to optimize your capital stack?
Yeah, we use them all. But it gets expensive, so you need to buy. You have to make sure you buy it right, because if you don't buy it right and you do all kind of creative financing, including hard money, your rates are now become very expensive.
Maybe showcase maybe an example what your debt looks like on some deals.
Yeah. So if we go to,
because that's a big part of
right.
Your lender is your partner basically in the deal.
Always, that's always the case. Let's talk about Jacksonville, okay?
Right.
So 28.5 million, okay, is the purchase price, right? PP, purchase price, okay? You have $2 million for capex, right? Capex. Now you have $1 million more for closing cost, okay? Closing cost, okay? How much is that total?
That's 31 and a half.
31 and a half, right? Thank you, sorry. Now, 31 and a half, 31 and a half, 31 and a half, okay, million. That's the total capital stack. We call that, you put it together. It's not just, the purchase price is not as important as this one and that one. All three elements extremely important because you want to know at the end of the day how much am I paying for the product, including my capex, money for renovation, and including my closing costs. Okay, and by the way, the capex and the closing costs very detailed. Joy, we have to talk about that too eventually. What is involved when it comes to capex and closing costs? Mm-hmm. So 31.5 million. Now we're gonna get a mortgage. Joy, 30% down. Joy.
Yeah.
30% down is how much?
30% down is 9.45 million.
There you go. 9.5 million is my down payment. Okay. Now what's my mortgage? What's my mortgage amount? Joy.
Mortgage amount is 22.50.
So
22,050,000.
22.
22,050,000.
50. My mortgage amount. Okay.
Right.
That's mortgage. Okay. What's my rate? So 22.50 my mortgage. We on a deal like that, it's not really a bank loan. It's going to be what they call bridge financing. Okay. So bridge financing is going to give you about 7.5% interest only. Why is it bridge financing? It's a temporary loan. You can't get comfortable with that. You're going to refinance it or sell it within 16 to 12 months, to 18, 24 months, okay? Joy, how much is 22.5 times 7.5?
1.55 million.
1.55?
Mm-hmm.
That's a mortgage, okay? What's the NOI for this property?
This property, I think it was, let me double check.
It was 1.7.
Well, I know your new NOI was 2.65 million.
What's the old NOI? So the old NOI is about 1.6. Basically, it's enough. You have enough money to service the debt, nothing else. Maybe a little bit extra cash flow, okay? And the extra money gonna come raising the rent.
Mm-hmm. And then when would you get out? Because obviously you can't be in a bridge debt for that.
No,
for that
so
long.
you're not gonna be in a bridge. No, you're not gonna be in a bridge loan. You're gonna be. It's a 24 months mortgage, max 24 months. Okay.
And then you refi or sell.
Either or, you want to wait your option because if the market is strong, you want to sell. If the market is not strong, flat, you do a refi. Get your money back. The idea is to get the money back and ride the wave. Ride the wave, ride the wave. Pay back the investors, pay back your friends, pay back the family, pay back yourself too for that matter, and ride the wave.
Someone wants to know about maybe your experience about a deal that you made a mistake and learned from.
Yeah, you bought a property one time, 113 units, 112 units, sorry, for that matter. And one is 18 units right next door to it.
Is that Opalaka?
No, Paloka. And I didn't calculate, it was a poor area. The issue there was, I think I overpaid for it a little bit. So when we sold it, I went to the closing with some money. That was a bad experience because we're going back 20 years. I didn't do my due diligence because when you buy, question, is bad to buy in poor area? No, it's not bad at all, but you need to make sure you have enough money in capex, so you have enough money, okay, to demonstrate that if you can't pay the mortgage, you gotta buy it low enough. Does that make sense? Now, I also have another situation. I bought 200 units in Miami, Grand Island. That property, I put for capex only 400,000, 500,000. I didn't realize, okay, it was such high demand for rent. Rent was through the roof, okay? So we had to hit more money in capex. That's okay because we 2x our money, 2.5x, Anybody else? Any question?
Any other questions, guys? Let's see if there's any other questions here. Can you go into more depth on your sources of income as an immigrant in the United States? How did you grow capital?
Listen, I work myself from the bottom, okay? So I was a bass boy, okay? One point. You just work yourself from the bottom, and you have to start saving money. Make your first deal. Become a realtor. Learn. The best thing in this business to become a realtor. Learn the business.
Is that right?
Once you learn the business, okay, you are able to execute on your own, but you gotta save money. You can't go on vacation, you can't go on parties, you gotta work over hours, stuff like that.
How do you structure your portfolio? Do you open an LLC for each property?
Every property gets an LLC. You never, ever buy your own name. Never buy your own name. Always gonna have an LLC or even a trust. A trust is even better. But LLC I'm okay with because basically you don't own it, the LLC owns it. So, and every property gonna have its own LLC. Limited Liability Company. Close
Any other questions? Yeah, close all the way.
If anybody else has any question, we got a few minutes to go. And we need to do some more workshop, Joey, I think. Teach people real estate.
For sure.
We don't charge anything, so we have to do it too.
What's the benefit of a trust?
You don't own it. That's the benefit.
So legally, nobody can sue you, right? Nobody
They
can
can
come
sue you,
after
they can't go after you, no.
you. Can't go after your
Right,
personal
no.
assets or anything like that.
Again, there's revocable trust and irrevocable. You want to make sure you are irrevocable trust. That means you gave it away.
Have you ever encountered hostility in the business due to your background?
Always. Listen, they can spit on me, I don't care. No, in the beginning maybe it was a little bit difficult, but down the road you earn people respect, believe it or not. No.
Going back to the LLC, do you have one trust that owns all the LLCs?
You can have one trust in LLC. Yes, you can.
Someone wants to know, Brian wants to know, what is set schedule for lives? So far we have it from Monday 12 to 1. We're thinking about maybe doing another one during the week. Maybe
We're going to do one
Thursday.
jacuzzi poolside.
Might do one poolside jacuzzi with Eyal in the morning. Eyal, what time in the morning would you like to do?
We can do it Thursday 9:30.
Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time.
Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. A little
We're
more
going
relaxed,
live.
a little more chilled out in the morning. Eyal will have his
Right.
coffee in the jacuzzi. He likes to
Yes,
do that for a few
sir.
minutes. So we'll take some questions in the morning for you at that time. That's pretty much what we have so far. So Monday, 12 to 1.
Right.
And then Thursday, we'll do 9:30 a.m.
9:30
at the
to 10.
jacuzzi. 9:30 to 10:30. Or 9:30 to 10.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other question, Joey?
Don't have any other questions. Anybody else have last questions before we wrap it up? We got about 5 minutes.
The messages, anybody messages?
Do you
Joey?
buy in any blue states? I know that answer.
You know what? I love everybody, okay? I even love Biden, not as president. Yeah, I'll buy in blue state if the number makes sense, but don't show me a deal in blue state where I can't raise the rent. And by the way, my favorite one, where I was talking to a guy, 40 units, 30 units you cannot raise the rent, and 10 you can. What the heck? What are you telling me? I'm gonna have mixed, I'm gonna have all kind of people in the building because some I can raise rent, some I cannot raise rent. So the answer is I can buy in blue state if I can raise the rent. I don't think I can, so therefore we stick to the red state. Again, keep it simple, stupid.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the love. Saying great info.
Okay?
Appreciate the info. All right, I think we can wrap it up. I don't think
Okay, wrap
anybody
it
else has
up,
a
guys.
question.
We'll see you Thursday at 9:30, jacuzzi side. Question and answer. Thank you again. If you like what you see, please press like on YouTube and subscribe. Always subscribe and share. That will really help us a lot. We are trying to put out the word to the world about buying real estate, and make sure take it into the next level so you don't make a mistake. I don't want you to buy because you want to buy and then you overpay. That's the last thing I want you guys to do, to overpay for property.